So now that we know if we are turning right or turning left, let's just go to our animation blueprint in here. And in here, what I'm going to do, first of all, I can just get the third person from here and tell it that we need get turn right and get turn left, right? But if you remember, we passed this BP third person character through this function, through this function, through this function. So we have third person in here as well. So in here we can say get turn right, okay? And again, we can say get turn left. So with that, we get the turn right and turn left boolean. But we need a variable for those. So what we can do, we can create a variable in here and call it turn left and turn right and have it in here and use it in our state machine. But another way to do it, we can just right click in here and promote it to variable. And it call it turn right for this, and right click in here and it's called this turn left. No, it needs the execution pin. To set this, we can use this output execution pin of this function. So let's just use that, connect this to here. Now we have turn left and turn right boolean in here. Now let's just go to our anim graph, right? And in our anim graph, you should decide where you want to put it. But again, it's part of movement. So let's just double click on the movement. And now in here, I want to create two states. One state for going to right, and one state for turning to right, and one state for turning to left. So let's just drag and drop from here to here, add an state, and this one I want to call it turn right. We need another state, and this state I want to call it turn left. So with that, first of all, we need the condition from going to idle either to turn right or to turn left, but we need the condition to go back to idle, because when our turn animation is finished and we turned, we want to go back to idle animation again. So now that it is set up, let's just go to turn left first and search in animation turn left, idle turn left, and connect it to output. Again, let's just go back and let's just do it for turn right as well. Idle turn right, I can just drag and drop it in here and it will connect it to the L. Let's just compile and it will give us some idle because all of these conditions is not working right now. Let's just do it for turn left first. From idle to turn left. Let's just double click on this condition. First of all, in here, we know that we are in idle turn left and idle turn right. So when we are running, we shouldn't have that turn right and turn left animation, right? So let's just get the speed and make sure that the speed is 0, because when we are running, we shouldn't play the animation turn right and turn left. This animation is for idle turn right and idle turn left. So with that, we can check if the speed is equal, less or equal than 0. If it is 0 or less than that, the speed is 0. Or we can just use this, equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, and if the turn left is true, okay, both of these conditions should be true, so we play the turn left animation. So how we can do that? There is a node that called and boolean, okay? And with this and boolean, we can check both of these, and if both of these are true, we can now play the turn left animation, right? Let's just compile, everything cool. Again, let's just do it for turn right as well. When we should turn right, when we should play turn right animation from idle to turn right. Let's just double click in here. And in here, again, we should check for a speed, okay? If the speed is equal to 0, and let's just use and boolean, and the turn right is true if you are turning to the right, and the speed is 0 if both of these are true, play the turn right animation. No, let's just go back. So if we compile and run our game, if we turn right, you can see it's playing again and again and again and again, right? So we don't want that. We want to go back to idle again. So how we can do that? For example, for turn right, we want to define some condition for going from the turn right or turn left to the idle again. So first of all, the speed. If the speed is greater than 0 or greater than 1 or whatever, right? If it is positive, if there is a speed, we should go back to idle. And in idle, we will go to walking and running or whatever, right? This is one of the conditions that we should go back to idle. The next condition is when turn right is false. Okay? When this turn right is false. So how we can check that? We can check it with not boolean. Okay? If this turn right is false, again we should go back to idle. But there is another thing in here. We can check if the turn right animation is finished, go back to idle. Okay? If the turn right animation completely finished, go back to idle. So how we can do that? In here, right click, search for time remaining, okay? And it will give us some option. Time remaining idle turn right and time remaining ratio idle turn right. So what we need to check is time remaining. We should check if this idle turn right that we play is finished or not. If it is finished, it means the time remaining is equal to 0, right? If any of these option is true, it should go back to idle. If the speed is more than 1, it should go back to idle or walk or run. If the turn right, it's true in here. And with this not, we false it. Okay? If it is false, go back to idle. And if the animation idle turn right is finished, go back to idle. So how we can check all of them together? There is a node for that, and that is called OR Boolean. So with this OR Boolean, we can check if this is true, go back. If this is true, go back. If this is true, go back. If any of that is true, go back. So let's just connect these two here. And we can have multiple input pin by clicking in here and connect this as well. So now the turn right is working fine. Now let's just do that for turn left as well. So let's just copy all of these, go back to our state, and when this turn left should go back to idle is this condition, and let's just paste all of that here. Let's just bring it down in here. First of all, let's just delete this. We want to search for time remaining of the idle turn left in here, right? Because we are going back from turn left to idle. If the animation is played, just go back to idle. This one is saying turn right, but we are in turn left. Let's just delete that and use turn left in here, connected to here. And the speed is okay by itself. Let's just compile. And again, it did give us a warning because we didn't connect it to here. Now, if we compile, everything should work fine. You can see if I go right, the animation is played once, okay? The animation is playing, but it's not rotating through that direction. So what is the problem? If we go to our character class and click on character movement and in here search for rotation, in this case, we don't want orient rotation to movement, but we want use control desired rotation. Okay? Like before with mouse, we were sliding, but this time we don't want a slide. We have animation. So if we slide, it will be okay. So now if we compile and run our game, if we go to right, you can see it's playing our animation and our character is playing animation to the right and to the left, and we can go up and down. Everything is cool, right? Everything is cool. So we did some things in these two videos and maybe it is a little bit confusing for you. it is okay to get overwhelmed with all of these information. So what I recommend you to do is doing this once, and before doing this, just make a copy of your project, do it with me, and again after 2 or 3 days, try to do it yourself, not looking at that video. Just search on internet, search on YouTube, search on documentation, and try to do it yourself. And that way you will learn it and it will be hacked in your brain how to do it from now on. And if you want to do some more complex stuff, you can do it. So the next step is for aiming our gun up and down. Let's up and down and left and right. So let's see how we can do that.